Oh, well, doesn't this look delightful? If only we had some clotted cream. Hi, welcome to Tea with Jan. I am Jan. If you are new here, welcome. We talk about all things tea related, whether that be tasting tea, exploring new tea companies, or teaware, and I love vintage teaware. This right here, tea trio plate stand thingamabooger, is actually a vintage piece. I wonder if it was actually handmade after the fact. Anyways, it is Royal Albert's Val d'Or set, and my wife, her grandmother, had a lot of this set and gave her a bunch of it. Let's just dive in and let me explain to you how we actually make clotted cream and how you can at home.
All right, so this is pretty easy to get going. You just need to get yourself some whipping cream or heavy cream. You're looking for that 35% milk fat, and you want to make sure that it's not ultra pasteurized. So, if you could get unpasteurized, I guess that would be better, but this worked completely great. Now you get yourself a baking pan. This is a vintage Corning ware. It's about 9 by 12 inches. We're not going to line it with anything. You could use ceramic or glass, but you're not going to put any grease. You're not going to do anything. Just pour that wonderful whipping cream right in there. And you want it to be about 1 inch to 2 inches max. Then you want to turn your oven on. You're going to turn it on really low, actually. So we're looking for about 170 to 180. We're actually going to put it in the oven, in the middle of the oven, so you might need to move some of your racks. We're going to put it in for 12 hours, so overnight is perfect. I took a peek at it before I went to bed, so 2, 3, 4 hours later, this is what it looked like. You can see how it is starting to look like it has that pudding skin over top of it, like it's, transforming. All right, next morning, this is what it looks like. So it's a little bit darker. I went with 175. I probably should have went with probably 170 for my oven, but the darkness isn't going to change anything. Pop that out of the oven and you can see what it looks like. It's so fun. It's like solid, or pretty solid on the top, but when you start moving it and wiggling your pan around, you can kind of see how it's like lava, and it's bubbly and there's liquid underneath this. You want to let it cool completely and then put some film or some plastic wrap or anything like that over top of it and put it into the fridge until it's cooled down. It takes about 8 hours, I guess, that whole process. Then find yourself a lovely jar, and I used this slotted spoon-like thing. I find that something like this is perfect. Now what you're going to do is you're going to actually roll this. So you're going to separate that top from the bottom by kind of scooping underneath and making the rolling technique here. And you want to get all that top goodness and get that into your container while leaving behind all of that liquid. So you can see how the fats, I guess, have separated, and you want just that wonderful goodness. Now we just keep rolling and putting this into our jar. And you could actually, whereas this is a little bit browner on the top, it might give it a little bit richer flavor of some sort, but I don't really notice a difference. It ended up filling 2 jugs for me, and I want to make sure I get all that goodness, all of it, every last little drop. And the thing is that I'm actually going to use this liquid, so nothing is going to go to waste. I'm going to use this leftover whipping cream liquidy goodness to make my scones. And this is what you end up with. It has a great texture to it. It is wonderful. It is so heavy. You seal these up and keep these in the fridge for about 5 to 7 days, but I'm sure it's not going to last that long.
Isn't that incredible? I can't believe that. And these are so heavy. It's just unreal. Okay, so we have our clotted cream, and usually this would be stacked up at a tea party. The top tier is going to be all those lovely desserts, and then we have the scones, and then we have the savory and the sandwiches. And basically what you do is you start from the bottom and you go up. I'm a big believer in you do you. If you want to start at the top, you do what you like. I'm just having our scones here, or scones, however you would like to pronounce it. I am Canadian, and here we always say scones, but I think it's supposed to be scones, but like I said, I'm okay with however you want to pronounce it, and I hope you're okay with how I do it. So we have our lovely clotted cream here, and we have our scone. I should have a little plate here, but I don't. Please forgive me. And we're just gonna kind of pop these apart, and they break right apart. This is a wonderful recipe. I will leave the link down below to the recipe that I used. Now, I know that there is, you know, a big debate about, you know, does the clotted cream go on first or the jam? Well, as my mom says, who needs jam when you got clotted cream? That avoids that question. We get our clotted cream on there, and then we just eat it. So clotted cream, I find, you know, it reminds me of like butter in the creaminess of it and stuff. But then it also, it's like if you took clotted cream and whipped cream and mixed them together. I mean, I guess that's kind of what we're doing here. But that's the taste. It has like the texture of like a whipped butter, but it has like the taste of like a really rich, decadent, not sweet whipped cream. So good. All right, and that is how you make clotted cream. If you would like to know more about different tea things or want me to show you anything, leave me a comment down below. Let me know, have you made your own clotted cream? Are you going to? I would love to know. I'll chat with you in the comments down below. Until next time, take care. Bye. Okay. I'm actually, before we leave, I'm just gonna eat this one. I actually made this for my mom for Mother's Day. I gotta run it over and throw it at her doorstep and run away before she tries to hug me.